Best GPU for gaming of 2023. Getting the best graphics card for your specific needs is the only way you can get the best value for your money. It's not just about spending money on the most powerful GPU that will give you blazing fast performance in both gaming and content creation. What makes it the best GPU isn't just its raw performance. After all, number 1. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. Is AMD no longer the king of great value GPU? The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti threatens that claim with its price-to-performance ratio, one of the newer rivals in the RTX 3000 line. This graphics card punches way above its weight class, delivering a performance that could rival the RTX 2080 Super while keeping its price tag incredibly affordable for most people. That's with impressive ray tracing included. We've never seen 1080p gaming to be this good or this affordable. In our testing, we even found it could handle gaming in 4, if just barely. You'll have to make some compromises on settings and skip the ray tracing. With that said, there's little else to fault with the 3060 Ti. It stays cool as a cucumber and, for those who like to display their PC innards, is quite stylish. This is, indeed, the best graphics card for most people. Number 2. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050. The best graphics cards that have come out over the last couple years have had one thing in common. They're really expensive. This has a lot to do with the graphics card shortage we've all been dealing with. But it's also because Nvidia and AMD had been ignoring the budget graphics card world for too long. Luckily, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050 is finally here. While it's way more expensive than 50 series graphics cards from Nvidia have been in the past, this GPU is much more affordable than pretty much anything else in the current generation. We were able to play just about every game out there on high settings with the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050. And, as sports gamers will love this card, as it is affordable. Number 3. Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090. Yes, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 4090 is expensive. It also requires a 16-pin connector or adapter, and it's very, very big. But the first release from Nvidia's new 4000 series is an absolute powerhouse that can tackle anything you need it to. It is the most powerful GPU out there. In our testing, we found it to perform significantly better than the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 with 2 to 4 times the performance in synthetic benchmarks and up to 100% improved frame rates with some games. What's more, the included DLSS 3 might be the next revolution in gaming once it's fully utilized. That said, this is more GPU than what most people need. Creatives and those interested in playing 8K will appreciate how powerful this graphics card is. Just make sure to have a robust enough power supply and big enough case to run it. Number 4. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090. You can't beat the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 when it comes to performance. With a whopping 24 GB of RAM, no game or, more importantly, heavy graphics project will suffer performance issues. In fact, we were even able to get some 8K performance at 60 FPS out of the 3090. It is an incredibly expensive unit, and quite large too, so it will probably be too much GPU for most users. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3090 is, in essence, a replacement for the Titan, so it's meant more for the creative user tackling intensive 3D and video rendering than for the avid gamer. Even so, it comes with a massive reduction in price compared to the Titan, making it a bargain for creative professionals used to shelling out a lot of money for the tools of their trade. Number 5. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080. With the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080, 4K gaming just became a lot more accessible. Before, you had to shell out more than $1,000/$1,000 for the RTX 2080 Ti to get playable frame rates. However, with this new generation of Nvidia graphics cards, the price of 4K gaming has dropped nearly half thanks to the RTX 3080. When it comes to sheer power, the RTX 3080 boasts one of the largest generational leaps in GPU history, delivering a 50–80% performance boost over the RTX 2080 and a 20–30% boost over the RTX 2080 Ti, all while keeping the same price point as the RTX 2080. And, while it still comes at premium compared to other GPU of this generation. Number 6. AMD Radeon RX 6950 XT. The AMD Radeon RX 6950 XT is without question the best AMD graphics card ever. And this is especially true when you consider its fantastic price point compared to its fantastic gaming performance, which often rivals the RTX 3090. especially if you aren't worrying about full-on ray tracing performance. We found some places where the RX 6950 XT lags though, especially in terms of creative performance. It doesn't have any tensor cores either, so its ray tracing performance will lag behind comparable RTX cards. But you simply cannot argue with this price, and had AMD launched the big Navi lineup of graphics cards with this as its flagship card, the entire story of this generation of graphics cards might have been rather different. This is a premium card though, so you'll definitely want to consider whether dropping a bunch of money on a premium graphics card. Number 7. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. There's a new Nvidia champion in town, and it takes power and performance to an even more accessible price point. The long-awaited RTX 3080 Ti delivered the same level of performance as the RTX 3090 during our tests, an impressive feat in its own right, while dropping the price by a few $100s, making all that sheer power more accessible than ever. It continues what the RTX 3080 has started, to take 4K gaming into the mainstream arena. With its breathtaking 4K at 6 fps performance, it also stays cool under pressure. And, like many of the other 3000 series GPU, it's quite a stunning-looking card to boot. Of course, it's still among the more expensive of Nvidia's offerings and requires a good amount of power to function properly. But, this is still the best graphics card on the market right now, especially if you care about ray tracing. Number 8. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070. The best graphics card on the market for most people, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070 delivers excellent performance. It's on par with the RTX 2080 Ti even without costing an arm and a leg, bringing 4K gaming to the mainstream market for the first time. Before this card, 4K gaming was out of a lot of people's budget. The RTX 3070 does exactly that without forcing you to compromise on settings for most games. Yes, with this reasonably priced card powering your PC, you can play your favorite AA games in 4K at high settings without its performance suffering. A cheap price tag plus 4K gaming on quality settings equals great value, and that's why the RTX 3070 tops our list. We also appreciate the fact that it doesn't have the same massive cooler that the RTX 3080, which allows it to have a smaller form factor. Number 9. AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. AMD has offerings at all price points. When it comes to its mid-range options, the AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT is the best. We found it to be an excellent 1440 graphics cards, expertly bringing Team Red's RDNA 2 architecture to a more approachable level. Price-wise, that's not all. While it's not the best graphics card for on the market, it can do ray tracing and give you a taste of it. It's an Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 Ti rival. However, it is closer to the RTX 3070 in price, which makes it a harder sell for the more budget-conscious. Still, we cannot deny its superb 1440 performance. And, if you're more of an AMD fan, it's still an excellent contender. You probably should get comfortable messing with your BIOS though. Number 10. AMD Radeon RX 6800. If you think AMD is still stuck in the budget and mid-range markets, think again. The AMD Radeon RX 6800 marks the AMD return to the high-end graphics card market, and it's a premium ace without the incredibly premium price. This GPU delivers a solid 4K gaming performance and impressive ray tracing at 1440, while being a better value than its direct rival, the RTX 3070, thanks to its VRAM. We found its ray tracing to be a wash at 4K due to its lack of features, especially those around upscaling. However, if you're happy to play games at 1440 with ray tracing on, it can more than handle whatever game you throw at it.